Oh, well, we're here. A wooden signboard stood outside the door leading into the boutique. It reads, Grick Villavav's apparel. Gone to get smashed.
Gone to get smashed, huh? That's some honesty.
I couldn't agree more. It's almost as if they want to turn potential clients away. It's not too late in the day, but they've already gone and closed up. How curious.
I'm so sorry. We should have started out our shopping spree here first.
I agree. The unwanted attention we attracted during the entire course of the day was unbearable. Our attire really is too foreign for the locale. We should have known. No one else here was wearing a cloak. And why should they? Cloaks and their specific dye are status symbols. For example, manacrafters wear black cloaks. My outfit identifies me as a royal guardian. It's the most formal attire any servant can be entrusted with. Selphine's peach-colored gown does nothing but exacerbate our eye-catching predicament. Her appearance is exactly that of a princess, after all.
I think I'll be okay for one night, Ritona. After we find some lodging for the night, I can always scrub away the dirt and the dust.
Restoring our clothes to pristine condition is important, but I would like nothing more than a hot bath. I would like nothing more than to part with the stench of soil.
Well, since this shopping trip's been put on hold, shall we find you some lodging?
No, let's find somewhere to eat first. Is there any place we can eat that's nearby, Rune?
Yay!
Yay? I've never seen you so excited over a simple meal, my lady.
Of course I'm excited. I get to try a whole different cuisine.
I want to ask her how she could be in any way enthusiastic about being swept away from our homeland, but I restrain myself. If she can forget, even for a moment, about the misery of seeing Rughzenhaide be burned to the ground, why take it from her? Why take it from her now when Selphine will be haunted by those memories again tonight? The memory of our people falling to the blades of those shadow soldiers. If it wasn't for Rune, Selphine and I may have done nothing but brood over the loss of our homeland. Selphine wouldn't be as cheerful as she is now. I am indebted to Rune for helping us take our minds off Rughzenhaide. And now it's nighttime.
Your gelato looks delicious, Rune. It does. Well, it tastes pretty delicious, too. And it's cool to the touch, and it's red. Ha! Does the color reflect the flavor?
My lady, Rune, why are you both spoiling your appetites before supper? They were enjoying a pair of popsicles they procured from a vendor we encountered on our way down a stone-paved street. With a few gallows to spare, Selphine bought herself a custard popsicle and Rune a strawberry one.
Because we're hungry now, Ritona.
Indeed, my lady. I hope there are places to eat around here. Now that you're done snacking, let us locate a real restaurant.
Good call. I'm still starving for real food. What did you two have in mind? Someplace that serves something piping hot and cooked. Well, if that's your only preference, then.
Rune is still a mystery to me. What's more mysterious is that I've become relaxed around her. It's uncharacteristic of me, even. We've spent the whole day with her, but I still haven't detected even the slightest trace of malice from her.
Ah! Ah! Ah, I dropped my popsicle.
Is this suspicious clumsiness of hers all just an act? I don't want to believe it is. I don't want to even think anybody would ever go that far. But I couldn't help it.
Is everything okay, Miss Ritona? You look troubled.
Oh, it's nothing, but forgive me.
Forgive you? What is there to forgive, Miss Ritona?
Why, good evening, ladies! A solicitor cut our conversation short with his greeting. There's a great discount going on all week, you betcha, down at the Evil's Tavern. Stop by and give the grub a go.
Evil's Tavern, huh? Yep, Evil's Tavern is located near the edge of the city, and it's always been a local favorite here in Cadia.
A tavern. Memory serves, that's an antiquated term for a lounge. That's right, Missy, we got a brand new brew to boot. We got a promotion on to celebrate 30% off everything on the menu.
Did you hear that, Ritona? 30% off of everything! 30%!
That is an alluring incentive. Never thought I'd hear Selphine's voice reach an ecstatic volume over the prospect of practicing frugality. Well, while it may be enticing to leap on that, it's not a prerogative that our funds remain whole. We wouldn't be able to afford a single sediment stone in any case, so we would at least like to treat you to a more reputable establishment, Rune.
Oh, that's awfully kind of you, Miss Ritona. I guess we could go somewhere else.
If you ladies ever change your mind, please take this. The solicitor handed Rune a scrap of paper.
For those beautiful ladies out there, present this to your server to receive an additional 20% off everything on the menu. Let's go to the tavern!
But my lady, we cannot compromise quality over cost, even if everything is 50% off. How could Selphine ever contemplate the joy of the cheap eats? She only knew the finest things growing up. The food may be foreign, but... I don't remember you ever acting this excited when you were younger, my lady.
Wow, Miss Ritona, you sound like her mom when you say stuff like that. Let's go to the tavern! This Selphine sounds like she's dying to get going. Would you at least like to check out the establishment before deciding? I could take you there.
I suppose a peek wouldn't hurt. I'm tired of trying to figure out the cause of Selphine's excitement anyways. Oh my god, hiccups, no! Hiccups, no! Whew, okay, alright. Whatever can help keep her mind off Rughzenhaide is welcome to me. Rune led us down a narrow road to a street lined with dark, dilapidated, dreary buildings. It was a far cry from the clean central district we traversed earlier. The shadows around every corner provided effective cover for opportunistic thieves. I wouldn't want to enter any alleyways or narrow roads along this street. I can't help but shake this feeling of danger in this damp, unsettling atmosphere.
Wow, this part of town sure feels pretty interesting, Rune. I'll say, Miss Selphine, it's got its own personality, that's for sure.
Rune proceeded to walk out ahead of us. My lady, are you absolutely certain you want to have supper in a tavern on this seedy of a street?
What's seedy about it?
What isn't seedy? Don't you feel the danger that's lurking around every corner and alleyway?
I had no idea you felt that way, Ritona. Personally, so long as I'm with you, I've got nothing to fear. What's wrong with Jonah?
It's nothing. I just thought I may be helpful for you to exercise some caution as well.
We'll be fine, you worrywart. Do you really think Rune would take us somewhere dangerous? Besides, I have you here to defend me, my royal guardian. We'll be safe and sound with your skills.
Silly Selphine. After another 10 minutes along that disquieting street, we reached our destination, an illogically large building.
We're here now. This is the one and only Evil's Tavern.
Rune went inside before us, and we followed slowly.
Oh my, Ritona, look at that! Ritona, it's ginormous!
Fictive words aside, I must concur. I was awestruck. Evil's Tavern, while one of the three most memorable features may be the sheer size of the building, the fragrance of meat cooking over charcoal and the perfume of smoldering wood chips may contend for a close second or third.
Hey, Ritona! Ritona, what's all this stuff on the floor?
Selphine squatted down and inched her head near the floor for a closer look at the material we stood upon. The floor was caked in a thick layer of sawdust with innumerable walnut shells scattered about the entire floor of the tavern. I couldn't identify the original flooring under the sawdust.
Hey, look over there. That's pretty big, right?
Rune jabbed her finger out, pointing it toward the center of the room. Big? Gargantuan, more like. The interior of the tavern was immense, to say the least. It was 3 stories tall and featured a circumferential view of the ground floor like the audience seats of ancient arenas. In the center of the tavern stood a giant living tree, which a spiral staircase leading up to the 3rd floor was built around. Clearly, the tree was the main focal point during the tavern's designing stage. I just have to ask, Rune, that tree is real, right? Upon closer inspection, the giant tree shot well beyond the ceiling of the 3rd floor, leading me to presume that the tree's canopy is acting as the tavern's roof. My presumption is supported by the moonlight shooting through the many gaps in the tree's canopy.
It is indeed. In fact, this tree was always meant to be the heart of Evil's Tavern, even through the entire construction phase. It's incredible, Rune! I'm actually at a loss for words right now. Isn't it incredible, Ritona?
I am curious as to how everything underneath the canopy manages to remain dry during a rainstorm. The walls were lined with cast upon cast of ale and brew, all stacked atop each other. If they were ever to stack them all in a single column, it would shoot straight out of the tree canopy. Do those walls of casks serve a purpose, or... I'm at an utter loss. Nothing in this tavern makes sense, to me at least.
You could say it's one of Cadia's main attractions. Those casks aren't just for decoration, they're here to be filled and sold. You see, Evil's Tavern is responsible for 60% of all alcohol production in Sector 3.
So, Evil's is a brewery.
Yeah, those walls of casks separate the brewery from the tavern, keeping everything nice and neat.
Interesting. A brewery, huh?
Listen up, my fellow drunkards.
A voice shot out from above, resounding throughout the entire cavern. For the first time since we entered, Evil's was dead silent. Looking upward, I saw a man leaning against the railing on the spiral staircases near the platform of the second floor.
I got canned from the good old grind today, and good riddance. I'll never have to—
I don't know. Why? Why is that my, default, I don't know what you sound like voice? There have got to be other dude voices that I can concoct, right? I've got to, it doesn't even sound like a dude. There's got to be a different dude voice in my... I'm just disappointed in myself is all.
I got canned from the good old grind today, and good riddance. I'll never have to look at that boss man's ugly mug again.
Who's that? This calls for a celebration. Drinks all around. Good old Hertzwan's gonna put a drink in all your glasses. Joyous commotion that filled the room following the gentleman's offer was unbearably loud. Wait a second, ain't the boss man he's talking about his old man?
That's my old man. Boy, does he have one ugly mug. Ha ha ha.
This is a disaster. This is a voice acting disaster. This whole scene. How many other times has it been now, Heitzman? I bet 100 gallows you're gonna go running home tomorrow or the day after.
Bite me, buddy. There's no way I'm going back to look at that old coot's ugly mug.
I don't care what you do, Heitzzy. The more you leave work, the more free booze we get.
No problem. I'll give you booze, but I'm gonna need a job. Ha ha.
Hold on, just a bloody second here. Everybody just say, look, they've all been the chef this whole time. How the hell are you gonna be paying for all that booze if you've been let go?
Put it on my tab, you cranky old bastard. I'll be your new dishwasher. Ha!
That's the spirit, Heitzzy. You're one hell of a generous gent, says girl.
You bet your pretty face I am, missy. You're quite the looker. Won't you marry me? Chef slash girl slash instigator?
Heck no, Heitzzy! The gentleman found himself in the middle of a hysterical storm at his own expense. Ah, to heck with marriage. Bottoms up, everybody. My, does he enjoy overstressing everything he says. But his hearty shout inspired everyone in the room, of age or underage, to drink to his misery. Evil's Tavern really is overwhelming.
I did mention that before, didn't I? The crowd here can be a little restless, so if this sort of restaurant doesn't sit well with you two, then...
Oh, she loves it, though. Agreed. I'm already accustomed to the hustle and bustle of this tavern, but I don't know how receptive Selphine is to this display of crassness. I'd rather be on the safe side and find a quieter place to eat.
Huh? I love it! You do?
Uh-oh. Selphine's got that spectacular sparkle in her eyes again.
Ritona, can we please eat here? I love how unique and how fun the people of this tavern are.
But my lady, if anything were to happen to you here,
Waiter! Waiter! Can we please get a table for 3?
Selphine was ushered off by a waiter in a blink of an eye.
Sure thing, missy. I got my hands full at the moment, so feel free to seat yourself at an open table.
Okay, mister, woo!
My lady, wait, my lady.
Wait, are we eating here? Are you sure? What's going on?
Jeez. Goodness.
Absolutely.
Good grief. The Royals of Rughzenhaide always had a thing for lively parties. They were renowned for it, in fact. A moment, my lady. If anything happens to you while we're here, what would you have me do? I urgently whispered my concern into Selphine's ears.
We'll be fine here, Ritona. I mean, who would ever want to wreck a mood as merry as this?
Anyone could ruin the mood.
You know me, Ritona. I love cheery crowds and festive atmospheres, so just relax.
King Valor's rosy red apple doesn't fall very far from the royal tree. He didn't enjoy distinguishing himself from the people he ruled over either. He loved his people, and the people loved him. King Valor's love was always evident. He constantly acted and appeared affectionate toward his people. Interesting! But like the beginning of this game, we're playing Coco, right? And Coco's like, It's implied that they're wanting to take down the monarchy because they've suffered some injustice under his rule, right? Like, that's what I took from it. But maybe not? I don't know. Interesting. However genuine King Valor's feelings were, it may have very well been a face he wore in public. Royalty must always stand atop a pedestal hoisted by their ever-loyal and ever-loving subjects. The leader of a kingdom is no different. Without a charismatic leader to guide them, Rughzenhaide may never have lasted as long as it did. Apparently, this division between royalty and subject troubled King Valor very much during his youth. I wonder how long it took him to realize that his role as the future king of Rughzenhaide was more important than being loved by his subjects. I wonder if Selphine will eventually encounter this on her way to becoming queen as well. Should I caution her? I turned my head slightly to glance at Selphine, wondering whether or not I should tell her.
Nom 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 nom.
Selphine stuffed her mouth with walnuts, looking happy but oh so undignified.
This is delicious.
Stop spoiling your appetite on the complimentary walnuts! A hamster. She's behaving just like a hamster. How could she be enjoying plain, unsalted walnuts?
Nom 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 nom.
I don't think I've ever seen her appear so pleased. It's certainly a welcome change. Why does it have to be over walnuts?
I can tell you're really enjoying those walnuts, Miss Selphine.
Rune showers Selphine with praise.
These walnuts are just too delish.
Selphine smiled through the walnuts protruding from within the walls of her cheeks.
Don't worry about the shells. You can brush those off the table onto the floor. You mean it? Oh, that's so unique. So wait, all these chunks on the floor are walnut shells? Hey, Ritona, all of the chunks on the floor are actually walnut shells.
Oh, forget it. She's enjoying herself, and that's really all that matters.
Gosh, it's been ages since I visited Ivel's.
Did you used to come here more often?
No, I only came here once before.
You did you? I can believe it. I'm not sure if Ivel's Tavern is really your kind of place either, Rune. It certainly isn't my ideal dining establishment.
It's not? You really think so?
Do you know any girls our age who would ever think of eating here alone?
Well, I don't really. So you might be right, Miss Ritona.
Anyways.
Hey, do you two think it's okay if we start ordering food? I'm not sure how they order food here.
Oh. Point taken.
Oh, that's simple. You take a look at the menu. Everything listed in there has a description of all the items.
Rune handed me a thick booklet that was placed near the edge of our table.
It's so thick! I wonder what kind of food they serve here.
These drawings are pretty impressive. The menu featured a few drawings representing some of their signature dishes. How these pieces were drawn is a mystery. I can't tell if they were drawn with watercolor or lead. But lead's too difficult of a material to synthesize without a viable mana stream. She's so concerned! How did they do it? Without Monocroft? How did they perfect the pictures? There's just something about these pictures that can't be achieved by the human hand alone.
Oh, those aren't drawings, Mr. Tota.
They're what we Gadians called photographs! Oh god, this is so funny. Like, this is such an interesting concept. Like, having this place that's entirely magic-based, and then getting transported somewhere where they're like, I mean, we need magic to live because our bodies require it, but, like, we can't use it, so science! They're like, what?
Photographs? Oh yeah, photographs. Is it okay to assume you don't have menus with photographs where you're from? Yeah.
The menu all restaurants in Rughzenhaide employed was in the form of Comcraft with the waitstaff. Before you reach the table, the host would use Comcraft to inform all customers of all ingredients available, including the dishes using the finest ingredients of the day. This menu isn't optimized for instantaneous comprehension. I suppose this is what the people of the Outer Pole do without the convenience of mana.
So, yeah.
We have something similar to this where we're from. Most of the restaurants have their menus hung above the service window leading into the kitchen. That's how it used to be before the advent of Comcraft. That was before my time, though.
Whoa, the subtle difference between our cultures is pretty interesting. So your restaurants use signboards instead of menus, huh? I suppose so. I guess it's a cultural difference.
I suppose I'd better see what looks appetizing and there's on my neck stood from the uncomfortable aura emanating from the seat to my left. When did such a serious scowl creep up over her face? Her eyes are entirely fixed on the menu in her hands, but why the scowl? By Verag. I understand now. I've seen that exact stare before, but from King Valor, Those all-seeing, all-knowing, soul-piercing eyes of the Royals of Rughzenhaide. Has she finally awoken to the path down Manacroft? That would be the only logical conclusion, but why now? Why here? What's the matter, my lady? Selphine turned her head. I could feel the pressure from her piercing gaze.
Miss Selphine, is something the matter? Are you feeling ill? Ritona, Rune.
Yes, my lady.
I have something to admit.
I can't read, please.
I can't read this menu.
That was the other logical conclusion I didn't bother to consider. We've relied countlessly on Rune to be able to get around the town, but it's obvious we forgot about our illiteracy in the script of Cadia. Oh yeah, they can't speak the language. Erratum only translates spoken languages. It doesn't extend to written communication. Miss Selphine.
Yes? If you had a question about the menu, I could have read it out loud for you, okay? So there's no need for that scary scowl again. Oh, okay. Thank you, Rune.
I don't think Selphine's even aware of the impression her scary scowl left on Rune. Tears are running down her flushed, pallid features. She's crying?
Can I get everything?
You may not, obviously.
But everything looks so good on the menu. I don't want to pick just one thing.
And that's grounds for gluttony? Corpulence, my lady.
Ugh, don't be so dramatic, Ritona. I won't blow up from just a little bit of everything.
That's no excuse to knowingly indulge in excess.
But, Ritona, take a look for yourself. Can you deny yourself all the tasty stuff?
As tasty as they may appear, there's just no way that we can finish everything on the menu between us three.
Actually, they do have the option to get everything in a sampler size portion. Everything on the menu is determined by your preferred serving size, so the sampler size will allow you to try more things, but in little single bite servings. Then I'll go with one of everything in the sampler size.
And do they serve anything simple and easy on the stomach?
Something easy on the stomach? You're thinking of something along the lines of bread. I don't think they have that. They do got soup, though.
Okay, I'll take the soup then. A line of servers brought each and every single dish on the menu to our table.
Wow, everything here looks better than the menu.
Although Selphine selected the sampler size, all the bite-sized morsels certainly took up the entire table. Sampler size or not, that's still a lot of food for one person. I doubt she can finish all of this.
This is so yummy!
Don't talk with your mouth full, my lady.
Relax, Ritona. Let me express my enjoyment when I'm eating, please.
Selphine's class and grace gave way to her wanton desires in a way I could only describe as inebriated.
I just can't get enough of the two of you. Serious question. Are you a pair of traveling entertainers?
Entertainers? We are no entertainers, Rune.
Oh, Miss Ritona, are you sure that bowl of soup is all you want? You sure you don't want to eat a little more?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Rune. I was only hoping to eat a light meal tonight. I'm not sure if this is also a side effect of Vectocraft, but I don't have much of an appetite.
Eat something, Ritona. If you don't, you won't have any energy.
I realize that, my lady. Honestly, I can't help but shake this lack of sensation. I don't feel sick or unwell, but I feel this impalpable malaise, like a sickness that doesn't fully manifest until the symptoms do. The sickness that brings you down to your knees.
I just remembered something. They've got a new brew, right? Why don't we try it out?
Brew?
How well do you handle alcohol, Miss Ritona? That's a good question, Rune. Ritona here put men twice her size to shame. They drink beer, she'll drink scotch. They drink from a mug, she'll drink from a pitcher.
I quickly cover Selphine's mouth before she says anything more incriminating. Don't share more than necessary, Selphine. Cool, thanks.
Wow, Miss Ritona, you can put just about anything to shame, can't you?
Of course not. I'm not much of a drinker, really.
Lies! You're an aficionado of alcohol, Ritona, an artisan of ales!
Selphine escaped my grasp and begins singing praises about my penchant for the occasional drink. My lady, please lower your voice.
Well, we got our answer then. Let's get 3 of the new brew. As they say at Ivel's, a hearty brew and hot ale will make the miserable merry. Let's make you merry, Miss Ritona. There's nothing that a little alcohol from Ivel's can't fix. Besides, it's always fun to drink with good company. I've always wanted company to drink with, too.
Do I dare take to the drink during the performance of my duties?
Excuse me, Mr. Waiter, can we get 2 mugs of the new brew?
My lady, are you not drinking? Were you not the one who suggested that we all drink? You're sly, Selphine. Very sly.
And I'll get a pomegranate juice.
Sure thing, missy! Within 10 seconds of returning to the bar, the waiter filled a large glass pitcher with a mysterious brew, a glass of pomegranate juice, and returned to our table. We're starting off the evening with a few brews, missy. That's a first for me.
Their new brews tend to sell out pretty fast, but I guess we did come in a little earlier than most people. Better drink this before we decide to order any more. What? More food? Or more drinks? Because I'm like, yo, dog. We can't drink more than this or eat more than this. We're just discussing the problems. That's right, missy. That brew there is nice and ice cold, all thanks to a new freezer unit we received. A freezer unit? What's that?
Awesome, I say we toast to our new friendship.
Toast. We raised our glasses and clinked one another's. Oh, that's delicious. I would even say robust. There were few brewmasters in Rughzenhaide who could make an ale so alluring to my palate. Color me surprised.
I'm so glad you like it, Miss Ritona. I think this is the first time I've seen you look happy and relaxed all day.
Is it? Have I appeared so austere all day?
I'll say, you've been acting so serious since this morning.
I was unaware. I felt nothing else except the weight of exhaustion wear on me.
Oh, that was so yummy. Ditto.
For some reason, I have more of an appetite than I thought I did before. Is the ale enchanted? Now that we're finished here, let's pay and be on our way. What the? It sounded like glassware being shattered, and it came from within the tavern.
Eek! What's going on over there?
Do not move from this table. Stay here and wait for me to return. I leapt from my seat and dashed toward the source of the shattering glass.
Giant?